compares Clark to Steph Curry for being relatable to fans, but claims the fact that she's a straight white woman plays a big role in the hype around her. It's not the numbers that she puts on scoreboard.
Privilege. There is a thing called white privilege. There is a thing called tall privilege. And we have to acknowledge that. And so part of it is about race.
Recent discussion has focused on why the U.S. women's basketball team drew such a surprisingly small crowd at the Olympics, especially considering that major stars like Aya Wilson and Breanna Stewart were on the roster. Many observers argued that the turnout remained low largely because one of the most influential modern players, Caitlin Clark, was not part of the team. Clark herself said she wasn't discouraged by the decision, explaining that she viewed the exclusion as added motivation and describing the Olympics as a dream she still hopes to realize in the future, ideally when the next cycle comes around. Her absence, however, clearly affected attendance, as shown by fans online saying that even LeBron James was correct in suggesting that some veteran players harbored resentment toward Clark. Videos circulated of people calling the situation petty and questioning why she was left off the team. This raised the bigger question for many viewers: who exactly is Caitlin Clark, and why is she so impactful? Clark is a massively popular star from the University of Iowa, where she has shattered records, generated enormous attention, and transformed every game she plays into a major event. Some media personalities have pushed the viewpoint, again, strictly as commentary and opinion, that part of the tension around Clark relates to dynamics involving race and sexuality, with certain commentators claiming she is a white heterosexual athlete entering what they described as a league largely made up of black LGBTQ+ players. According to those pundits, some veterans allegedly felt jealous of her rapid rise, the attention she commands, and the lucrative shoe deals she secured. Fans beyond that conversation admire Clark not only for her on-court brilliance but for her grounded attitude, such as her insistence on limiting her social media usage to avoid distractions, something many appreciate about her maturity and focus. With Clark's ascent, women's basketball has surged in popularity, prompting people who previously ignored the sport to suddenly pack arenas, travel long distances, and pay significant amounts of money just to watch her play. Arenas that were once half empty now sell out, TV viewership has skyrocketed, and international fans, from Canada to Germany, have shown up wearing Iowa jerseys or traveling hours just to see her in person. Children and adults alike describe how surreal it feels to witness her achievements, including historic triple-doubles and record-breaking performances that have cemented her as a generational talent. Because of this massive impact, when Team USA competed at the Olympics without Clark, they were missing more than just an essential scorer. They were missing the cultural force who had revitalized women's basketball. Those empty seats stretched across the arena illustrated how different the energy felt without her. Critics pointed out that the head coach of South Carolina, who also served on the selection committee, participated in the decision to leave Clark off the roster. Even so, Clark refused to let disappointment define her response. Instead, she emphasized gratitude for her college journey, noting how grateful she was to be preparing for another Final Four with a group of coaches and teammates she loves. She repeatedly stressed that she has room to grow as a sophomore, and hopes to reach an even higher level before going pro. To her supporters, all of this only reinforces why she is such a beloved figure. She embodies humility, determination, and long-term vision, qualities that inspire fans of all ages. The decision to exclude her showcased just how influential one athlete can be. Clark isn't merely talented. She's a transformative presence whose games feel like cultural moments, filled with must-see highlights and infectious energy. Behind the scenes, Clark reportedly told her coach, after receiving the news during a bus ride, that the snub woke a monster, which many fans interpreted as a promise that she would return even stronger. Analysts across sports media expressed disbelief that she wasn't selected, calling the move short-sighted and even labeling it idiotic, arguing that regardless of Team USA's odds of winning gold, with or without her, the organization had ignored her unparalleled ability to attract fans. Pundits like Shannon Sharpe noted that the Indiana Fever, despite struggling to win games, dramatically jumped attendance from 4,000 to more than 17,000 once Clark arrived, proving her status as a box office attraction. Although Team USA claimed they had legitimate reasons for their final roster, the explanation didn't satisfy many observers. Committee members later suggested that Clark's rookie performance at the time wasn't as strong as it became later, and admitted that if they had chosen the team based on her subsequent improvement, she would have been a top candidate due to her exceptional shooting and overall play. Still, critics questioned whether a few months of professional tape were enough to justify leaving her off the most important event in women's basketball. The backlash grew intense, with fans, analysts, and former players insisting that Team USA missed a monumental chance to introduce women's basketball to a broader global audience by capitalizing on Clark's star power. They argued that her absence mattered not only because of her skills but because her presence dramatically increases visibility for the sport. Team USA ultimately chose to prioritize experienced veterans, but Clark responded with professionalism, using the decision as fuel to improve. Meanwhile, widespread attention turned to those empty Olympic seats. Only 13,400 fans attended Team USA's first game against Japan, despite it being a rematch of the gold medal matchup. Attendance levels were so low that a men's match between Serbia and Puerto Rico drew a bigger crowd, highlighting how unusual and concerning the situation was. Several factors contributed to the sparse turnout. The 9 p.m. local start time, the bundled ticket system that sold men's and women's games together, and the fact that many people in the stands ended up cheering for Japan rather than the US. Even so, many insisted that Clark's absence undeniably played a role in the subdued atmosphere. A player whose mere presence routinely fills arenas across America could have changed the entire energy of the event. This wasn't just about a single game, it signaled a deeper issue within women's basketball. Seeing one of the world's best national teams compete in a half-empty arena was a stark warning, and one that would have caused immediate alarm in men's basketball if it had happened there. The situation highlighted the need for innovation in how women's basketball engages fans, builds excitement, and markets its stars. Many people believe that USA Basketball now regrets leaving Clark off the roster, given how effectively she draws in new viewers and shapes public interest. Her exclusion became symbolic of larger questions about how the sport presents itself to the global audience. If even the Olympics can't generate buzz, what does that mean for the future? Clark's star power proves that beyond elite skill, women's basketball thrives when it embraces athletes who generate genuine enthusiasm. Including her on the Olympic team wouldn't just have been a strategic basketball move. It would have shown audiences that the sport understands how to build momentum, create anticipation, and convert curiosity into lifelong fandom.